Arsenal's four-man £314 million summer transfer rate to fire them to Premier League and Champions League double. Arsenal have been crowned as Premier League champions once again, but should they have won even more silverware? A long, grueling 22-year wait for the English League crown came to an end on May 19th, when the Gunners officially became title winners. The 1-1 draw between Manchester City and Bournemouth is what got Mikel Arteta and co. over the line after 3 years of successive second-placed finishes, and they could have claimed a domestic double for the first time since 2002 had they beat the Citizens in the Carabao Cup final. Arsenal then had the opportunity to turn their brilliant 2025-26 campaign into a legendary one when they battled in the Champions League final last weekend. However, when Gabriel skied his decisive penalty in the shootout over the Paris Saint-Germain crossbar, a cloud of anguish lingered in the Budapest sky. Fans and players were in high spirits during their league title parade on Sunday, but many will have daydreamed about lifting big ears. Arsenal have played 226 matches in the European Cup or Champions League, the most for a side to have never won the competition. The summer transfer window could help change that though, and TalkSport.com have looked at 4 potential signings who can fire them towards a Premier League and Champions League double. Matheus Fernandes. Following relegation from the Premier League, West Ham United will need to raise around £100 million in sales. One player who looks set to leave the London stadium is Fernandes, who only signed from Southampton in a £42 million deal last summer, with the East Londoners wanting double that fee to sell him. The 21-year-old midfielder made 38 appearances and hit 8 goal contributions for the Hammers, who value him at double what they paid for him. Arsenal hold interest in Fernandes, as do Manchester United and PSG, and a move to the former could see them continue with their 4-2-3-1 approach of late. Whilst he can play in defensive and attacking midfield, the Portugal international is better suited in a more central role. Fernandes could start alongside Declan Rice if he was to join, though Miles Lewis-Skelly, Martin Zubimendi and Mikel Merino will provide competition. Morgan Rogers. Aston Villa had another excellent season, as they won the Europa League and finished 4th in the Premier League. Rogers was crucial to their success, as he netted 14 goals and assisted another 12 across all competitions. The ex-City Academy starlet has been rewarded with an England call-up for the World Cup, and is one of the Premier League's top stars. It therefore comes a little surprise that Arsenal are keen on Rogers and, as TalkSport reported last week, are ready to step up their interest. Arteta is understood to be personally leading the pursuit of the 23-year-old, and preliminary talks with advisors have taken place. Chelsea are likely to be competition for his signature, and Rogers is also open to moving abroad. Villa value him at £80 million minimum, but a bidding war could lead to Arsenal splashing up to £100 million on the attacking midfielder. Rogers is versatile, as he can play on both wings, but it's in attacking midfield where he has shown for club and country. He would likely become Arsenal's starter in the No. 10 position, even if it means club captain Martinodegaard drops to the bench, or out the Emirates door. Marcus Rashford. The 2025-26 season was one of resurgence for Rashford, as he starred on loan at La Liga champions Barcelona. With 14 goals and 14 assists in 49 appearances, the United Academy graduate has rediscovered his form of the past. Barcelona have already agreed personal terms with Rashford over a permanent move, with the club having a £26 million option to buy. Doubts have been raised over this possibility, as Barca have signed Anthony Gordon from Newcastle United in a £70 million move. Hansi Flick's side would favour another loan deal for Rashford, whilst United prefer a permanent move. If there continues to be a stalemate between the two clubs, then it's Arsenal who could move for the England left winger. Rashford is just 3 matches away from hitting 300 appearances in the Premier League, in which he has scored 89 goals and assisted 53. The 28-year-old could also become highly sought after this summer should he excel for England at the World Cup. Julian Alvarez, Arsenal's leading scorer for the season, was Victor Gyökeres on 21, but there are still some doubts over the Swede's quality up front. And one attacking player who has already been linked with a mega money this summer is Alvarez of Atletico Madrid. The former City forward is Barcelona's dream target, but their offer of around £86 million was rejected last week. Atletico are understood to be looking for in excess of the £104 million they received from Barca for Antoine Griezmann in 2019. Alvarez scored 20 goals in the 2025-26 term, half of which came in the Champions League. Atletico reached the semi-finals. Their victors Arsenal appreciate the 26-year-old Argentine, who was part of City's treble-winning side 4 seasons ago. Should the Gunners pay the £104 million that Atletico want for Alvarez, then he would become their second most expensive signing ever, behind only Declan Rice.